Good morning, and welcome to this impromptu message from Joy News. Usual coffee order: medium coffee, 4 sugar, 3 cream. Thank you to the cashier for reminding me about the extra 2 sugars. My brain is still sleeping. Let's get into today's impromptu news. Christmas and suicide attempts. Christmas season and suicide calls for help. Christmas season and the misunderstanding of Christmas, and why there are so many people who pull the triggers to a gun or take their own lives or the lives of others during the month of December. It is currently December 8th, and already 15 people across the globe have been murdered either by suicide attempts or murder-suicide attempts in this year of 2025, attached to that of the season itself. And all 15 people have been described as Jews, not that of those who believe in Jesus Christ, even though Jesus Christ himself was a Jew when he was birthed. But 15 people that are Jews and not commonly related, but all of them from Egypt, have died of suicide murder or suicidal attempts due to the fact of financial affairs not being set in place in order to appropriate the season that is being celebrated, that is mostly celebrated truthfully by white Caucasian folks. I have studied the matter, and it is very appalling that not even African Americans celebrate the Christmas season. There are 0 African Americans across the globe who celebrate the Christmas season. The Christmas season is mostly celebrated and induced by the white Caucasian community. However, the 15 Jews that have died are also all white Caucasian folks, and they've induced themselves to death for not having finances in order to appropriate the Christmas season celebrated by white Caucasian folks, the white Caucasian race. Let's talk about suicide and what's supposed to happen on the Canadian soil when someone threatens suicide and 911 intervenes. 911 intervenes when someone threatens suicide. 911 is supposed to, upon the release of the person being released at the hospital, they are supposed to provide a ride back home to the person who has threatened to commit suicide. Why? Because there is still that impeding 24-hour chance that suicide could be committed by the person if they are not assisted with the form of being able to get home when they did not bring themselves to the hospital. So, if unit officers are not able to take the person home, they must make an arrangement with the hospital, which is why the hospital has the taxi service fee in order to get the person home via the taxi service, so that the person is not struggling to get home, and the taxi driver must report the health of the person while they are in the vehicle. And the taxi receipt and certificate must be provided by the hospital to anyone that has threatened to commit suicide for whatever reason or the case. They may have threatened to commit suicide, and usually, mostly, to the financial degree. Now, if the hospital does not provide a ride home, the hospital could be found guilty if the person has committed suicide for not taking care of the health of this person by providing a ride home so that they can get home safely, especially if there are children involved in the matter. The hospital will be found guilty in the form of impeding the health of the children involved, as well as impeding the health of the person who has threatened to commit suicide or committed suicide, especially when the suicide was committed by the force of one using your finances in order to make you feel guilty being who you are with the name Beyonce, such as myself, of which has happened to me on several bases. Several bases, there has been others who has said if you don't need the taxi service to pick you up at your front door, you should or you might as well commit suicide. That's what they keep saying to me. If you don't need the taxi service to pick you up at your front door instead of dropping you off when you go grocery shopping, you might as well commit suicide because the prices for the bus is going up. Let's discuss the bus pricing, $3.41. I'm here at 270 Alton Towers. $8.50 it will take for the taxi to get me home. $8.50. Sometimes $9.50, depending on whether there is a traffic light impediment. But the bus fare, whether there's a traffic light impediment or not, that's $3.41. You are saving, therefore, a total of $7.40 in taking the bus to taking the taxi. Does that mean I need to commit suicide at taking the bus at $3.41? Do I need to commit suicide over that? I still have $7.40 in my pocket when I take the bus. Thank you very much.